Spirit Wings 101, Seattle Tower, RNAV to Otley, runway 16 center, clear for takeoff.
RNAV Otley, clear for takeoff 16 center, Spirit Wings 101.
American 103, contact departure.
Going to departure, American 103.
Alaska 327, turn left on Delta, contact ground.
Turn Delta over to ground, Alaska 327.
Man flex SRS runway, auto thrust blue.
American 927, Seattle Tower, runway 16 right, clear to land.
$80 knots. Thrust
JetBlue 324, runway 16 center, line up and wait.
Line up and wait, runway 16 center, JetBlue 324.
B1, engine failure.
Once the engine failure is recognized, be sure to maintain runway centerline with proper rudder input.
Rotate.
JetBlue 654, contact ground.
JetBlue 654.
Many pilots, as they begin rotating, will drift from centerline due to improper application of rudder. In a similar fashion, some pilots will over-rotate at much more than the standard 3 degrees per second. In addition, failure to recognize the blend from ground mode to flight mode of normal law will cause pilots to exceed the initial 12.5 degree target. Once airborne, follow the flight director SRS guidance.
Positive rate.
Gear up.
Gear up.
Select runway heading. Runway track.
Focus on centering the beta target before trimming the aircraft. Once the beta target is centered, which will allow for minimum drag, the pilot can then alleviate rudder pressure with the trim before engaging the autopilot.
Heading. Activate secondary.
The secondary flight plan was activated to comply with an engine out SID.
Manage down.
Spirit Wings 101, contact departure.
Departure, Spirit Wings 101.
Now.
Seattle departure, Spirit Wings 101, 700, climbing 5,000. Declaring an emergency, engine failure on takeoff, flying outbound, Seattle radial 161.
Autopilot on.
Spirit Wings 101,
AP2.
Seattle departure, radar contact. Min altitude maintain 3,000. Which engine did you lose?
Maintain 3,000, lost engine number 2, Spirit Wings 101. 3,000.
Spirit Wings 101, roger.
Notice the crew has not taken any action other than silencing the warnings. They will wait until the appropriate flight path is established and are at least 400 feet above the runway. Once these conditions are met, pilot flying calls for ECAM actions. Once the pilot flying states ECAM actions, tasks will be delegated as follows.
3000 blue. ECAM action.
3,000 blue. Alright, engine 2 fail. Engine mode selector. Ignition. Thrust lever 2. Idle.
Confirm thrust lever 2.
Confirmed.
Idle.
Engine master 2 off. Confirm engine master
Spirit Wings
2.
101,
Confirm.
say intentions.
Off.
And Spirit Wings 101, I'd like to remain
If
on this radial,
Engine
and
2 fire,
we'll get back
push
to you in a
button.
second.
Push.
Spirit Wings 101, roger. I need
Loud bang.
personnel on board.
And
You're
looks
remaining
like
in
Amber
time.
X is on N1.
And if
I
you have
think
any
it's
hazardous
damaged. Do you
cargo
agree?
on board.
The flight crew can suspect engine damage if the flight crew observes 2 or more of the following symptoms.
Spirit Wings 101, no hazmat, and we have 3 hours of fuel on board, 186 passengers, or souls on board.
Spirit Wings 101,
think
roger.
it's
Let me know when
damaged.
you're
Do you
ready for
agree?
the weather.
Yes, I agree. Stand by,
Engine
Spirit
2
Wings
fire,
101.
push button. Push. Confirm engine 2 fire, push button.
Confirmed.
Pushed. Agent 1 after 7 seconds. Discharge.
American 1365,
Vertical
radar
speed
contact.
0.
When the acceleration altitude is reached, the pilot flying pushes the vertical speed push button to level off, gain airspeed, and clean up the aircraft.
Agent 1, discharge. If no damage,
Even though the ECAM has the crew considering a relight, if there were no damage, the actual relight would not be accomplished until the crew reaches the status page.
does not apply. Shutdown. If no fuel leak,
A fuel leak may be detected if any of the following are experienced.
imbalance, monitor. TCAS mode selector,
26, 27,
TA.
conductor Richard, resume to Harrow 6.
Avoid icing conditions. Clear engine 2.
Clear engine 2.
For each systems display page that appears, the pilot monitoring will summarize the changes.
United
We got
578,
an amber land
contact
ASAP.
Seattle Center,
Affected
135.17.
systems, air bleed, electric, hydraulic. Bleed number 1 is pressurizing the system. Clear bleed.
Clear bleed.
Electric, generator 1 is powering the aircraft. Would you like the APU?
Yes, let's get the APU. And stop ECAM.
Spare wings
Flap 0.
101.
Speed
Have
check.
you come over to plane yet, sir?
Flap 0.
And continue ECAM. Spare wings 101, we'll get back to you in 2 seconds.
Better.
Clear electric.
Clear electric.
Hydraulic. PTU is pressurizing the yellow system. Clear hydraulic.
Clear hydraulic.
Status.
In all cases, the flight crew must stop the ECAM actions before reading the status page in order to perform the after takeoff checklist or any normal checklist if applicable, consider any system reset, consider application of the engine relight procedure after an engine failure with no damage.
Stop ECAM. After takeoff checklist. Open climb.
After takeoff
American
checklist.
320.
At green dot, the pilot flying will select an open climb. Once the aircraft is clean and at green dot, lever MCT will also flash on the FMA. MCT thrust can be selected by moving the thrust levers from TOGA to flex MCT. If TOGA was not selected, MCT thrust can be obtained by momentarily placing the thrust levers in the climb detent and then selecting flex MCT.
87 radar contact. Cover maintain 10, 10,000.
After takeoff checklist complete.
I'm going to request the weather over back at Seattle, see if we can land. And then I'll ask for vectors if we can.
Okay.
Continue ECAM.
Alright, status. Avoid icing conditions. If severe ice accretion, does not apply.
The status page Landing Distance Procedure Apply statement is referring to the COM landing distance with failure section, which would only be referenced if the aircraft was experiencing severe ice accretion. Since the crew has determined that there is no severe ice accretion, the normal landing distance can be obtained via ACARS.
Departure Spare Wings
No
101
engine
would like
two
the
damage.
weather in Seattle.
Does not apply. Cat 3 single only. In-op
Wings
systems. Wing
101,
anti-ice.
1150,
Cat
zero
3 dual.
observation. Wind 250
Engine 2
at
bleed.
10. Visibility 1
Reverser 2.
5.
Gen
Missed.
engine 2 start.
Ceiling 200
Pack 2.
overcast.
Altimeter
Gen 2.
2.
Yellow engine
Runway
2.
16 center RVR 1,800.
Clear status.
Clear status.
ECAM actions complete.
Spirit Zone 1,
Proceed
roger.
to the comm.
Alright, so it looks like we're at 1800
Film for
RVR.
Engine 2 fail. Applicable to
can do the
502 to
ILS.
698. Sounds good.
Spare Wings
Message.
101 like vectors for the
Engine
ILS
2
runway
fail.
16 center.
Condition engine core
Spare
speed
Wings
below
101, expect
idle
the
with master
ILS
switch
runway
on and
16
fire
center,
push
turn
button
right
not
heading
pushed.
280, vectors to final approach course.
Right heading 280, Spare Wings
Nope.
101.
An engine flameout may be recognized by rapid decrease in EGT. And 2, fuel flow, followed by a decrease in EPR. Flight crew can suspect engine damage if flight crew observes 2 or more of the following symptoms. Rapid increase of EGT above the red line, important mismatch of rotor speeds or absence of rotation, significant increase in aircraft vibrations and or buffeting, hydraulic system loss,
JetBlue
repeated
1567,
or
contact
uncontrollable
Seattle
engine
Center
stalls.
135,
Land
117.
ASAP before takeoff or after landing does not apply. In flight, engine mode selector, ignition. Selection of continuous ignition confirms the immediate relight
Speed alt
attempt
start.
made by the FADEC. Thrust lever affected engine.
1210, radar contact.
Idle. In case of EGPWS, load your speed with care below VLS, with flaps extended at lightweights VMCA,
Alt.
may be reached before Alpha Max when applying the EGPWS procedure. If no relight after 30 seconds, note the 30-second countdown if installed starts as soon as the engine 2 fail alert is triggered. Engine master affected engine off. If damaged, engine fire, push button affected engine, push. Agent 1 after 10 seconds in flight, discharge. Associated procedures, engine 2 shutdown. Apply the engine 2 shutdown procedure if damaged or if engine relight is unsuccessful. Vibration occurs and continues after engine shutdown. Reduce airspeed and descend to a safe altitude. Attempt to determine and use a practical airspeed and altitude for minimum vibrations. If no damage, does not apply. That completes the comm procedure for engine 2 fail. Proceeding to the comm procedure for engine 2 shutdown.
United 1205, radar contact.
Notice as the pilot monitoring runs the comm, the pilot flying can set up for the approach as needed so long as the adequate situational awareness and aircraft control is maintained.
Out of the comm procedure for engine 2
Spirit
shutdown.
101, turn right heading 340.
Right heading 340, Spirit Wings 101.
Applicable to 502 to 698 November Kilo. We're in 605 November Kilo. Message, engine 2 shutdown. Condition, engine master switch at off or engine fire push button
Spirit Wings
push.
101, contact approach on
Land ASAP. If wing anti-ice on.
133.65, Spirit Wings
Engine
101.
mode selector ignition. Continuous ignition is selected in order to protect the remaining engine. If no fuel leak, does not apply.
Seattle, Perth, Spirit Wings 101.
TCAS mode selector.
Emergency aircraft, right
TA.
heading 340.
If reverse unlocked, does
Level
not
3000.
apply. If engine fire push button switch pushed,
Spirit 10 America.
cross bleed
Seattle approach ready.
shut. Wing anti-ice off. Void icing conditions. Secondary failures, hydraulic, electric, air bleed. Some conditions with full asymmetric power, the aircraft may be control limited before reaching the protection system limit. Therefore, in extreme conditions where low speed may be advantageous,
Alaska 745 is
wind shear,
1 5
etc.,
miles
reduce
from
speed with
Magnum,
care
proceed
below
direct
VLS,
across Magnum
and
at
respect
above
the minimum
4,000,
control speed.
cleared ILS from 16 center approach.
The flight crew should not select the gear down too early, as large amounts of power will be required to maintain level flight at high weights and or high altitude airports. Status: if engine 2 fire push button switch pushed, void icing conditions. If severe ice accretion, does not apply. For A319 aircraft, does not apply. If reverser unlocked, does not apply. Approach procedures: reverser deployed, does not apply. Reverser detected unlocked, does not apply. If wing anti-ice off,
Delta
and engine
1919,
2
contact Seattle
fire
Tower
push button not
119.9.
pressed, does not apply. If no engine 2 damage, does not apply. Cat 3 single only. 1 pack only if wing anti-ice on. Note, if available, the APU
Spirit
may be
101,
started
we've
and the
coordinated with
APU
Seattle
gen
Tower.
used.
Staging
If the
fire
engine 1
rescue
fire
on
push button is
16
pushed,
center. Let me know when you're ready for the
APU
approach.
must not be used.
Roger, Spirit Wings
Engine 2 fire
101,
push button
will
pushed,
advise.
APU bleed may be used provided the crossbreed rotary is set to shut. Would you like to use the APU bleed?
Yes, if you can, sure.
After landing, the fuel used value of the engine shut down in flight becomes incorrect. In-op systems, Cat 3 dual, engine 2 bleed, Pack 2,
Alaska
main galley,
945,
Gen
maintain
2,
210
yellow
knots
engine
or
2
greater to
pump.
Magnum, then 170
Wing
knots or greater
anti-ice.
to Anvil, and
If
contact Seattle
affected, engine
Tower
fire push button
119.9.
switch pushed. Aft cargo heat if installed, steep approach if installed. That completes the comm procedure for engine 2 shutdown.
After the pilot monitoring completes the comm, the captain should ensure that the flight attendants have received a tests briefing, dispatch and ATC have been notified, and the passengers are briefed.
Alright, sounds good. We're currently on a downwind. They asked us to let them know when we're ready
Sounds
for the
good.
approach.
Alright, you've declared the emergency already?
I have.
Have you let company know that we'll be coming back?
I have not.
Approach Spirit Wings 101. If you get a chance, can you let our company know we're returning to Seattle with an engine failure?
Spirit 101 woke up.
I'm going to be in the back calling the flight attendants.
Sounds good. I have one.
Confirm emergency call push button.
Confirmed.
Hello.
Hey, it's Eric. How you guys doing back there?
Yeah, we're doing good.
Hey, listen, we probably heard on takeoff there. We had an issue with one of our engines. I got a quick test briefing for you.
Okay, give me 1 second. Okay, go ahead.
All right, like I said, we had an engine failure on takeoff. We're going to be returning to Seattle, landing here shortly. We do not anticipate a need to evacuate. As far as special instructions, we are going to be stopping on the runway, have the fire trucks check us out. Looks like we have about 8 minutes of flight time remaining and no signal to brace. Do you have any questions for us?
No questions.
All right, thanks. We'll see you on the ground. All right, I'll talk to the passengers real quick.
Sounds good.
Spirit 101, climb and maintain 3,200.
Ladies and gentlemen,
3,200 Spirit Wings 101.
As you guys probably heard, we had an issue with one of our engines on the takeoff.
Delta
Coming back around to
9426
land,
M is
had
10
the ground
miles
safely
from
in
Magnum.
Seattle in
Proceed
about
direct.
8
Cross
minutes. Please
Magnum at
follow all flight
4,000 or
attendant
above.
instructions.
And
Thank you.
clear ILS
Vertical
for
speed plus
16 center
500.
approach.
3,200 blue.
All right, I'm back with you.
Sounds good. 3,200 blue.
3,200 blue.
And vertical speed plus 500. Alright, so I set us up for the ILS runway 16 center. Do you want me to brief it real quick?
Sure.
Okay. You have control.
I have control.